My name is Bill. Welcome to Night Terrors Viewers Research Show, Tuesday night edition. And we're just waiting for the throngs of people to come in here on Twitch and YouTube. We are simulcasting tonight, just as every night. Oh no, it's Taco was here, but she has to, her bathroom is being concreted. And so she is off to the neighbor. But she will be here later. Philip Blair, first on site, first on YouTube. Welcome, Philip. How's it going, buddy? Do you have any suggestions for viewer research tonight? It can be anything you've seen in the news, anything you wonder about since you were a toddler. Anything you've heard about on the internet. We do need research topics. All the ones from yesterday are gone. I'm no longer rolling over the suggestions. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Good afternoon, Philip. Let's see what we have for attendees on Twitch. We're doing pretty good, 6 on Twitch. Let me check out YouTube over here in the side monitor. Jordan Cockburn says good evening. Welcome, Jordan. Gotcha Man, first on Twitch. Welcome, Gotcha Man. Actually second, but Taco is not as of yet here. Ooh. Yes, we would like to see that article, Gotcha Man. The dangers of stairwells. I'd love to see that. Refreshing over here on the YouTube monitor. It takes a couple of steps. You have to perform after the live has started, of course. Okay, we have a link from Gotcha Man. Thank you, G. Nightmare in Westfield. How Bernard Gore died after being trapped in Westfield Shopping Center stairwell. That looks like an English style writing there. It might be from the UK. Oh, Sydney. From down under. Written by Candace Sutton at news.com.au. Inside, the caption says, inside the stairwell at Westfield Bondi Junction, where 71-year-old Bernard Gore's body was found 3 weeks after he disappeared. 3 weeks. Hey, Green Tea, welcome, ma'am. Philip Blair with a suggestion, thank you. Or a joke. Philip says, does a demon-possessed person ever say to another demon-possessed person, who are you wearing? Jordan follows up, what nice skin you're wearing. Gotcha Man says, 1 death, 2 panicked ladies, and 1 close call. And Candace begins for Bernard Gore. Bernard, we say Bernard here sometimes. Becoming lost and trapped in the stairwell of a Westfield shopping center proved fatal, and his body lay undiscovered for 3 weeks. But the nightmare of being lost in a labyrinth of self-locking doors and confusing exits at the centers of Westfield can happen to anyone, the Sunday Telegraph reports. Greetings to Shazbot. And management of the billion-dollar retail chain has declined to comment. Oh, so it's a retail store. I thought it was the name of a mall, the retail. Well, malls are retail. Sydney woman Loretta Feeney, who was locked in a Westfield stairwell on Boxing Day for a frantic hour before escaping by using a tiny phone signal, said the death was an accident waiting to happen. Good evening, Verpeen. We need suggestions, people, by the way. Highlight your suggestions. Helps me catch them sometimes. The badly decomposed body of 71-year-old Mr. Gore was only discovered last Friday in the stairwell behind high-end stores Chanel and Scotch and Soda on level 4 at the mall in Westfield. Mr. Gore's body was found exactly 3 weeks since he was last seen, lost and confused, inside the Chanel store. Oh my goodness. There's Bernard from New South Wales Police, a photo. The caption, the body of 71-year-old Bernard Gore lay undiscovered in the Westfield Bundy Junction stairwell above for 3 weeks after he disappeared from level 4 shops. That might be the 4th floor, and it might be the... I forget what it is, if they take one away or add one. Probably take one away, right? It might be the 5th floor or the 4th floor in the U.S. But up there, no elevator, just a lot of stairs for a 71-year-old to climb. Thank you, Green Tea, got it. Green Tea with a suggestion. This caption, Westfield staff screen off a section of the Mammoth Bundy Junction shopping mall after Bernard Gore's badly decomposed body, 3 weeks, is found in the stairwell after he vanished. That from Picture News Corp. Here, the Chanel store in which Mr. Bundy was shopping immediately prior. Mr. Gore's body was found in the stairwell behind Chanel 3 weeks after a store assistant offered to help him, but he declined and wandered off. Also from News Corp. Thank you for peeing. We got that suggestion. Thank you, sir. Oh, Green Tea with another one. Thank you, Green Tea. Mr. Gore, a pensioner who suffers from dementia. My grandpa had dementia. It's not like Alzheimer's, I'm told. It's different. Had traveled from his home in Tasmania to Sydney with his wife to holiday at their daughter's home in Woollera, in Sydney's eastern suburbs. He was carrying only $30 and a travel card. An Opal travel card, whatever that is. He left home shortly after noon. He told his relatives he planned to walk to the mall and do some shopping before meeting up with his wife and daughter an hour later. Hello, Brooke Birch. He made the trip from his daughter's apartment to Bundy Junction several times on his own. It has now been revealed that at one point Mr. Gore was trapped inside the Westfield stairwell just meters from his wife, who was waiting on the other side of the door, outside Woolworths on level 3. It was too bad he wasn't calling. But the retired barber did not have the strength or capacity to find his way free from the internal maze of stairs and doors. No, wait a minute. How do they know he was just meters from his wife? If he's in the stairwell, he's going to be going up and down trying to get out. I don't think they can say that for sure. But the retired barber didn't have the strength or capacity to find his way free from the internal maze of stairs and doors. Thank you for peeing. Oh, I got that one. Thank you, Shazbot. Very nice topic. Newly discovered animals. An assistant at the Chanel store in Westfield also said she had seen the distant look in the face of an elderly man who had wandered into her shop asking for help. He was completely lost and confused, the Chanel employee told the Daily Telegraph. Caption, pleased at Westfield Mall. After Bernard Gore's body was found in the stairwell 3 weeks after he disappeared and lay undiscovered in the stairwell. From News Corp. Mr. Gore's body was found in the Westfield Bundy stairwell. And that's the door to the stairwell. He went missing on January 6th. Once the stairwell door is locked behind you at Westfield, the only two escapes are 6 floors down or up. Are 6 floors down. No, let me reread that. Hey, Zerithian. Green Tea says homeless people could be living there. Welcome back, Taco. We're doing an Australian story about the Westfield Bundy Mall and a elderly gentleman with dementia who got locked in the stairwell, and his body was discovered 3 weeks later. At Chanel, they say, at the Chanel store, they say he came in asking for help. He was frail and confused and pacing up and down outside the store and eventually came inside. He said he couldn't find the car parking garage for you guys across the waters, or people he was supposed to be meeting. Asked if he needed help, and he shook his head and wandered off. We were so worried my colleague called security, and one of the guards told us they would check closed-circuit television footage to locate him. Of course, there's no cameras in the stairwells. The thought that he had been in the stairwell for 3 weeks makes me feel so sad. Why has it taken so long to find the body? These quotes from a Chanel employee. Mr. Gore had refused an offer to wear a tracker on his wrist by his son Mark, who feared a repeat of an episode months ago when the retiree disappeared for 6 hours but was later found. If the tracker signal could get through all that concrete and rebar. When Mr. Gore failed to meet up with his wife and daughter, they called police. As temperatures soared above 40 degrees in the ensuing days. 40 degrees, what is that? (40°C is how much in Fahrenheit? (104°). That's outside. Wow, Taco. You got some weather down there. Mark Gore flew to Sydney from Hobart to help locate his missing father. Police were still making appeals to locate Mr. Gore more than a week ago, and members of the public reported unconfirmed sightings of an old man. Staff and stores on the luxury 4th level. Ooh, the fourth level's luxury, huh? Of Westfield Bundy Junction, close to where Bernard Gore's body was found, said the stairwell was not used by shop employees. But one worker said he thought the mall's own security was meant to regularly check the stairwell. He heard a rumor. Sunday Telegraph reporter Sarah Keegan, age 20, tested the enormous Bundy Junction shopping mall's stairwell exits and found them confusing and exhausting. Police and Westfield staff inside the Bundy Junction Center after the man's body was found last Friday. Picture News Corp. This one, also News Corp. Sydney woman Laura Feeney told the Sunday Telegraph her nightmare experience, trapped in a Westfield stairwell behind locked doors, only ended because she managed to call a security guard who talked her way out to freedom. Ms. Feeney and her mother, Ann Galvin, became trapped in the external car park staircase of Westfield on Boxing Day. Taco, what is Boxing Day? When the queue for the lifts was too long. She said, I made a point of checking all the signage, and all they said was, do not obstruct. There was absolutely nothing on the inside of the doors to suggest that the doors locked once they were closed on the inside. when they realized they were trapped inside the stairwell. Can't you, like, go to a floor where there's lots of people and bang on the door and say help? I mean, a man with dementia might not realize this or be too proud to do it. But that would be my first inclination. Go to the busy floor and pound on the door. When they realized they were trapped inside the stairwell, Miss Feeney and her mother frantically banged on doors. For a good 20 to 30 minutes, no one came to their rescue. I guess that's why. I had a small amount of phone signal, Ms. Feeney said, and managed to Google the number for the mall management, where I was able to connect with a security guard, she said. Caption: Irishman Donnie O'Sullivan nearly died in 2014 after getting trapped in Bondi Junction stairwell. A Bondi Junction stairwell, where he was only discovered by chance 5 days after. Jeez. Imagine 5 days without water. That's rough, man. How about, I guess there would be no stray stuff around there either. Probably the stairwells are nice and clean. In our malls, there's a 50% chance you can find something made out of metal or wood and start banging on the door with it. In our Crossgates Mall. She said he basically talked us through finding an exit, which was located all the way down at the bottom level. It was a very stressful experience, she said. Supposedly there's an exit at the top, but it's to the roof. I don't know if that would help. Oh, here's Verpine. Boxing Day. Oh, wait. No, Taco's got one, too. Go to Taco first. On the 26th of December, the day after Christmas. Oh, busy time. Named for the day when you unbox your presents. Christmas Day was for family. The next day, Boxing Day, was for opening presents. Verpine saying, why would... Boxing Day used to be when you boxed used stuff up for the poor after Christmas. Green Tea asks, why would anyone use the stairs? As if you couldn't get out. I don't understand the way you state your question, Green Tea. Why would anyone use the stairs if you couldn't get out to find another exit? Is that what you mean to ask? Mr. Gora was unable to secure his escape, and Westfield declined to respond to the Sunday Telegraph's questions about whether management conducted sweeps of the stairwells, or whether a door locked behind Mr. Gore, trapping him. Of course it did. However, when 20-year-old Sunday Telegraph reporter Sarah Keegan conducted a test of the enormous Bondi Junction shopping mall's fire exits, she found it confusing and exhausting. She found there were only 2 points of escape. The roof car park. Oh, there's a car park on the roof. We would say parking garage. Or the basement 6 flights down. No levels had phones or help points. Yeah, just put phones in there for Christmas' sake. In 2014, Irish resident Donnie O'Sullivan almost died after becoming lost in a Bondi Junction stairwell. Where are the lawsuits, people? You guys have real tough lawsuit laws down under? Restrictive lawsuit laws? This caption, lost in a maze. Found on level 4, 3 weeks after he failed to meet his wife on level 3 at Woolworths. Westfield is conducting its own investigation of Mr. Gore's disappearance. Oh, good for them. Mr. O'Sullivan was last seen leaving the Tea Gardens Hotel in the early hours of Saturday, 2014. I was reported missing by friends. At 8 p.m. the following Wednesday, the manager of an office building's cleaning company found Mr. O'Sullivan by chance. 7 days, as they're saying, right? 7 days without water, lying in the level 6 emergency stairwell of a commercial building called East Tower, about 150 meters from the tea gardens. The fire stairs in which Mr. O'Sullivan was found were usually cleaned once a week and were not due for attention for 2 further days. It was only a random check by the manager to see his regular cleaners were doing their work that located the Irishman, writes the author of the piece. Mr. O'Sullivan spent up to a week in hospital being treated for back and head injuries and dehydration. It later emerged that he had fallen 15 stairs to the 6th level, where he lay barely conscious for 5 days, just meters from an unlocked door. Well, I think that might have been, God might have had a hand in that, because unconscious, I would dare to wager you have less need for fluids. I would wager that slowed down his fluid requirements quite a bit. So maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Westfield told the Sunday Telegraph it was conducting its own investigation of his disappearance. So what, they answered one question but not the others? Or I say they declined here. I'm not going to find it, I guess. So they talked to Westfield, which would answer some questions and not others. But we declined to answer that question if the door locked behind him. Taco says, as you know, the fire escape stairs have those airtight doors, so they are difficult to open. Excuse me. If not impossible. You should never take the stairs in a shopping mall. Always take the elevators or escalators. Good evening, Big Test. Welcome, my friend. It's amazing to me how the way that the stairwells in a mall can be a death trap. When I think about our mall, it's I don't think I've ever been up or down the stairs in our mall. I don't think there's outer. No, there is outer stairs. One right by the elevator there. But the doors are never locked. Our fire exits aren't as airtight as yours. So, looser regulations here in the U.S., I guess. Next up. Let me just reduce the size of this utility. Next up is green tea. Pardon me. And green tea's idea is no, we want green tea, please. Who was David Rice Atchison? Who was David Rice Atchison? Wikipedia. Born in 1807. President for one day. And president for a day. Redirect here. Is that actually true? In office, it says here, oh, president of the United States Senate, which means he was vice president, perhaps? Maybe not back then. From 1852 to 54. Senator from 43 to 55. Member of the House from 34 to 41. Where's his presidency? Oh, you guys, come on. Why is this writing so big? Has anyone noticed the change in Wikipedia lately where the writing is huge? You're supposed to be able to change the size of it. Tools. Read, edit, la 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 la. But there's nothing handy here. There we go. It's already set for text small, believe it or not. This is text small. I guess they're going for a mobile device design, cell phone design, accommodating smartphones. Some of Atchison's associates claimed that for 24 hours, from Sunday, March the 4th, 1849, through noon to Monday, he may have been acting president of the United States. This belief, however, is dismissed by nearly all scholars. Maybe this will help. Thank you very much, Green Tea, because grave of David Rice Atchison, Green Lawn Cemetery, Plattsburgh, Missouri. Died at 79, or thereabouts. 79 years of age. There may be one president we're forgetting about. That's it. No debunking here. In the annals of who has been president of the U.S., due to interpretation of the laws of succession, there's potentially one man who was president for a day. March 4th, 1849. That man was President pro tempore, something like that in Latin, of the Senate. On that day, Missouri lawyer David Rice Atchison. His tombstone in Plattsburgh's Green Lawn Cemetery tells of his one day as POTUS. The term of President James K. Polk ended at noon on Sunday. However, the incoming president, Zachary Taylor, refused to be sworn in on the Sabbath. There would also be no swearing in of Millard Fillmore, his vice president, under the laws of succession at the time. The president pro tempore, gosh, I gotta know how to say that. Sorry, guys. Pro tempore. Home. How do you pronounce let's check out how the computer voice pronounces it. It means for the time being or temporarily.
Pro tempore.
No way.
Pro tempore.
No way. Now we can't do YouTube. I forgot. Maybe we'll get some other pronunciation guide, though. 59 pronunciations in Youglish.com, at Youglish.com. Where else can we find that? Here we go. Dictionary.com with pronunciation. Mr. Computer, please.
Pro tempore. Pro tempore.
What was the other one? Pro tempore? Pro tempore, I believe better than pro tempore. Pro tempore. British. No pronunciation for the British. Cultural. None for cultural either. How about it's pro tempore?
Pro tempore.
Pro tempore. How to pronounce? No, that's YouTube. How to pronounce? Gotchaman says, Señor est español. Pro tempore.
Pro tempore. Pro tempore.
Pro tempore. None of these places, no. Pro tempore. Merriam-Webster, you would think would have high standards.
Pro tempore.
No way it's pro tempore. No way. Philip Blair says, I'm pretty sure it's pro tem. Pro tem. Okay. I think Philip is right. Pro tem. Oh, no. Taco says, if my Latin serves me correctly, pro tempore. Pro tem, they say, though, here in the States. Now that it clicks into my memory. Okay. The president pro tem of the Senate would be considered the acting vice president, and therefore president on the Sunday before Taylor could be sworn in. Well, that sounds pretty straightforward to me. However, scholars consider it a mere curiosity of history. Atchison was never technically sworn in, nor did he exercise any power. Also on that date, the Senate was finished for the term. In an interview, he said, there had been 3 or 4 busy nights, finishing up the work of the Senate, and I slept most of that Sunday. So the theory was known in his own day, which is interesting. Despite the claims of historians, his simple grave marker in Green Lawn Cemetery in Plattsburgh reads, President of the United States for 1 day. And it gives the date on 1849. In 1849. Oh, they were sworn in March back then. March the 4th. We were supposed to be sworn in. But he didn't want to get sworn in on the Sabbath, so Zachary Taylor was sworn in on March the 5th. Wow. Because it took so long to get the votes in. I bet you voting was around the same time, but it took so long to gather the votes that the president was sworn in 1849. So when was Election Day in 1849? November 5th this year, by the way, people. November 5th, get out and vote. What day of the year was Election Day in 1849? Tuesday, November 7th, so very similar to today. It's the first Tuesday, I guess, right? And probably still the first Tuesday. So that never changed. It took so long to gather the votes. Talk about mail-in. You're talking Pony Express here. It took so long to gather the votes. The president was sworn in March. And the former president was still president until March. Wow. Grizzle Lang claims false history. Yeah, it is. All of Wikipedia is false. Didn't you know that, Greza? Greza, sorry. All right, next. Verpine. And I wish it would paste like it's supposed to. Come on. Why is it not pasting? Paste. Okay, now I got to try this on a text file. I'm trying to transfer a... Where's my text file? Where is it? This it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. And now it's gone. I gotta find out where my suggestions are going. Yes, please. Here's Verpine's suggestion. haunted places in Norway. And it's not pasting up here. Now it is. What? How about green tea? Nothing's pasting up there. What is going on? Oh no, I got technical problems here, people. My apologies. Suggestions are no longer printing to the search bar unless I first put it in a text document. Well, that'll be a good way to announce what the next topic is, right? So let's make lemonade here. Increase the font. I think 36 is good for you guys. Format word wrap. Next up for Peen. Top haunted places in Norway. So, try again. Got to copy it again. Repeat says you didn't pay your monthly pasting service. Subscription. The most haunted places in Norway. Lifeinnorway.net. Here are 9 haunted places in Norway you probably don't know but should. Don't read this one alone. Written by Jess Scott. It's at lifeinnorway.net. Are you someone who finds new words more exciting than unexplained phenomena? Few words. Few words more exciting than. Or tragic circumstances, or mysterious death. Oh, it's way down. Or maybe you are someone who does not believe in ghosts, but still enjoys the history behind a place. If you're anything like me, maybe you're someone who's intrigued by a promising story of a haunting, but would absolutely freak out at the slightest hint of the supernatural. Whoever you are and whatever your feelings toward the unalived, the unalived, and everything in between, here are 9 best places in Norway that fit that description. Before we get started, a quick note. A lot of these places are open to the public. However, if you do visit, be respectful, be sensible in your activities, and don't put yourself or others in danger. You don't want to be featured on my next list. The Bloody Monk of Trondheim's Nidaros Cathedral. Nidaros. The Bloody Monk of Trondheim Nidaros Cathedral. Nidaros Cathedral is allegedly home to 2 notable figures. The first is Olaf Haraldsson, or Saint Olaf, who was the Viking king most responsible for converting Norway to Christianity. His grave is said to be directly under the high altar of the cathedral. I wonder if there are signs of that. There's a gargoyle on the Nidaros Cathedral. The second is just as unalived, but much less restful. In 1924, Marie Gleditsch was attending evening mass when she saw a handsome man dressed as a monk. This was odd, as no monks have ever been associated with the cathedral. Odder yet, the man walked through a choir member, and in some accounts tried to choke the priest. Even more horrifying, the man looked as if his throat had been freshly slashed. With blood dripping from the open wound, Marie looked away. And when she looked back, the monk glared at her before he vanished. Gleditsch's account is the first and most descriptive sighting of the monk to date. In other words, there have been other sightings and descriptions, but the first is the best. The Blue Room of the Hotel Unionoi. There are plenty of reasons to stay at the Hotel Unionoi. You know, I got to see the website first. See if they have a pronunciation button. There my paste works, but not on my utility. Maybe if I close out my utility and start again, I'm going to do that. How do I do it? Close. Still there. Oh, here. Close window. No? No way to close it? How about task manager? It's right here. And end task. It will keep all the suggestions, God willing. And restart. Thank you, task manager. Restart that Spartan Clips. That's the name of it, Spartan Clips. Same size, we still have the suggestions. And test. The next suggestion from Green Tea, and we're good. Now we're good. The Hotel Unionoi at unionoi.no. For Norway, I guess. And here it is. The Unionoi. Your data, your choice. Necessary cookies, please. Arrival, departure. Ooh, looks nice. No smoking, though. Built all out of wood. Stay longer. A complimentary third night in October and November. Yeah, baby. Romantic Rendezvous. A love story since 1891. They've been around. Autumn in the Norwegian fjords. Winter in the Norwegian fjords. Hiking the fjords. Paddle the fjords. Rooms and suites, restaurants, activities. Explore more with 62 Degrees Nord. Hotels and adventures. Pure Norwegian luxury. In your inbox. The Unionoi. There's our phone number. Should we call them? Make a reservation? How many would like to go? We could find out how the name's pronounced, right? Not exactly sure how to do a long-distance phone call. There's a plus here. You just start with that? 47,700? I'm in. Okay, guys, when you make an international phone call, it says plus 47. Then it doesn't have enough digits for a phone call. So, anyone know how to make a foreign phone call? How to dial a foreign phone call from the U.S. Dial 011. And then country code. That we have. Okay, guys. You guys hear this? Whoops. Okay, now we know that it's this way to hear the conversation. Okay, let's give it a shot. 011. I don't know if I can dial long distance from my phone. I've never tried it before. Green Tea says, I haven't heard a busy tone for ages. Is that a satellite phone? No, gotcha, man. It is not. It's An old Uniden submersible. Supposedly you can use it in the shower. Never tried, though. Nice, isn't it? It's failing, though. I know how to... It fails to load it gets corrupted software every once in a while, and I have to punch a bunch of numbers at random to get the software to work again. I guess it's I forget what you call software that's embedded in the system. It's not hardware. I forget what you call it. Anyway, 011, right? Okay, let's go for it, guys. Damn, no answer. How could that be? Isn't the desk open? What time is it in Norway? What time is it in Norway? Oh, 3:47 a.m. It's 4 in the morning. Here in the States, there's going to be someone on duty at 4 in the morning. Not in Norway. They just don't want to be bothered by international calls. Well, we tried. Anyway, nice website. Menu booking. Menu. The hotel offers celebrations. Maybe we'll get into that. There are plenty of reasons to stay at the Hotel Unionoi in Møre og Romsdal. From its breathtaking surroundings to its stunning rooms. You can even stay in the same room as Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Or you can stay in the blue room, as long as you don't mind sharing. In the 1800s, a young servant girl named Linda fell in love with a German officer. A German officer. He was already married, but that didn't stop them from having a relationship. Whenever they saw each other, they stayed in the blue room. The story doesn't say why. Perhaps they really liked blue. He promised he would ask his wife for a divorce, but that didn't happen. In some stories, he did ask, but his wife refused. And then he unalived himself in response. Either way, when Linda found out that they were not going to get married, she threw herself into the river and unalived. Ever since, guests staying in the room have reported hearing sobbing in the night. Others have said they woken up to find her in the room with them. Hey, Taco, maybe I could call the Norwegian embassy in Australia. Hi, I hate to bother you. But how do you pronounce the Hotel Oi? How is it spelled? Hotel Unionoi. That menu won't go away. Every guest checking into the blue room is given a silver bowl of garlic. If you have ever had a really long trip or just don't feel in the mood for any ghostly shenanigans, you keep the bowl in your room. However, if you are curious, all you have to do is leave the bowl outside your door and wait. I'd like to read a much longer story about that one. We'll never be able to talk to Norway people. Gotcha Man wants to know, do you have surströmming in a can? I think that's the, if I'm not mistaken, the rotted fish in a can. It's supposed to be really, really hard to eat. The bitter edge of Stavanger's Ulstein Kloster. Ulstein Abbey is the only medieval monastery in Norway that's still in operation. Kong asked, it's a hotel, he called. I just got here. I've never seen Bill make calls. Oh, I love to make calls. It's just so rarely that I get to do them. But now that there's no video, watch out. Yes, King of Kong, we called a hotel in Norway, but it's 4 a.m. over there. And since they don't like to answer calls at all hours of the night from foreigners, there was no one on duty. Over here in the States, more likely, there's someone on duty at night. The night manager is going to be on duty. More likely than not. As a former monastery, it has housed many men, but it's a woman's presence that still lingers in the place today. In the 18th century, the monastery was bought by the Garman family. Christopher Garman lived there with his wife, Cecilia, who unfortunately unalived in childbirth in 1759 at 25 years of age. Despite his promise to her on her deathbed that he would never marry again, Christopher got engaged to a woman 36 years younger than him about 20 years later. Hoping to escape his promise to his wife, he arranged for the wedding to happen in Stavanger Cathedral. Stavanger Cathedral. But Cecilia found him anyway, appearing in front of him in the middle of the ceremony. Christopher died 8 days later. But Cecilia remained behind, wandering the monastery in her wedding dress, presumably to make a point. Today it's possible to have your own wedding at Ulstein Abbey, and I would take any vows there made very seriously. The Englishwoman of Telemark's Dallin Hotel. UK probably in the same time range, unfortunately. Wee hours of the morning. But are there night managers at hotels in the UK? Good evening, Crowman. Welcome, Colin. The Dallin Hotel calls itself the Fairy Tale Hotel. We got to look up another hotel. Maybe it's a hot link here. It is. A hot link to the Dallin Hotel. Look at that large wooden edifice. Quaint water closets. I got to see this water closet close up. Isn't that marvelous? Look at the door. It's right against the edge of the roof there. Oh, come on. Where'd it go? There it is. Just go there. Isn't that nice? Wow, that's a nice place, man. Out on the deck, very nice. It's painted yellow on the inside as well. Green tea has weird recorded phone messages. Oh, we have to do that. Verpine says, funatsushi is a fermented fish in Japan. It's fermented 3 years before eating. Gotcha Man says, time to reach out and get touched by someone. Creepy numbers to call. Ooh. I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to grab weird telephone numbers. Weird phone recorded messages. Tedium. Green tea was first there. So many random phone numbers. Oh boy, we're going to have fun, guys. Is there sound on this thing? Good. What is this, an ad? Stock price? The strange phone number with the best pronunciation you can find. If you dial. Where is it at? Harvard Sentences. It's, if you dial this number, you'll hear what sounds like the most unusual poem ever produced. It sounds perfect, it says here, as if the words were chosen from random novels. These sentences were basically decided upon to highlight the nuances of speech. We must call now. Nothing. Dead air. Show me the number. Redial. 1-858-651-5050. Try again. It just dumps to dead air. Next. I wanted to hear good pronunciation. Bizarre phone numbers. The easiest number you'll ever dial. It's an automatic number announcement circuit. These numbers, which are generally well guarded by phone providers, are designed to repeat back to the number you're calling from. Ooh, let's not do that one. Number 2, thank you for calling Bell Atlantic. Due to an emergency condition. The emergency condition is, of course, that Bell Atlantic merged with NYNEX to create Verizon back in the year 2000. Okay, the old Bell Atlantic number. Let's give it a shot.
We're sorry, since you did not select a carrier, this call cannot be completed as dialed. You may designate a carrier to handle this type of call by calling that company or your Verizon business office during regular business hours. To place this call in an emergency, just dial 0. We're sorry.
So that message is no longer there. Is that hurting your ears, people? Please let me know. Kega Kung said, the first few numbers you dialed sounds like the first few bars of Mexican Hat Dance. Okay, that gives me an idea. How to play the Mexican Hat Dance on your phone. Guitar, flute, ringtones. No, it's not here, which is odd because you would think you would be able to see it. Sorry, Kanga. No one has ever thought of that before. Sorry, Kay. Where were we at? Weird. Westchester County, New York phone number for a usually hilarious message.
CPTA announcement test. I don't know what it's supposed to say. I'm not really that concerned with it, so if anyone gets this, just disregard it, okay, and hang up. This is a CPTA announcement test. I don't know what it's supposed to say. I'm not really that concerned with it, so if anyone gets this, just disregard it, okay, and hang up.
That's the first one we've got. It's our first hit. That's 1 for 5. That's our first hit. How about number 5 here? This specific number utility tells you your current long distance provider is. I guess I wouldn't care to know that. How much they're going to charge me for a call to Norway that didn't get answered? $4. $15. $44.
Lines are temporarily busy. Please try again later.
So that's another fail. Anything else here? And we have one from looks like who was it? Gotcha, man. Creepy numbers. Right here. Please do. Let's do this. What? No, thanks. Not at this time. How do we continue? Okay, how do I get past this? I don't see an X. Try again. That's not it. Let's see. Link from Gotcha Man should be... No, I never copied it. Okay, right here. Go. Oh, I see. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Call area 407 to reach the voicemail box of a real child terrorizing clown.
You reach Wrinkles the Clown. I'm not here to take your call. Leave me a message, I'll call you back.
Rico the Clown, you're on the air. No, you didn't hear that part. If I talk to someone live, I should really tell them. Eerie message from a character in Stranger Things. Don't really know Stranger Things.
Please hang up and call me between the hours of 5 and 6 p.m. as previously discussed, okay? And this is Joyce. Joyce, thank you for calling. I've been trying to reach you. I have an update. It's about, well, it's probably best if we speak in person. It's not good or bad, but it's something. And if this is anyone but my mother or Joyce, well, you think you're real clever getting my number, don't you? Well, here's some breaking news for you. You're not clever. You're not special. You are simply one of the many, many nimwits to call here, and the closest you will ever get to me is this pre-recorded message. So, at the beep, do me a favor. Hang up and never call here again. You are a parasite. Thank you, and good day.
Sorry, this
voicemail box is full and cannot accept any more recordings. Thank you for using the voicemail system. Goodbye.
All right. Grizza says, William, you got pawned. In what way, Grizza? Wrinkles the Clown. That's one we just did, yeah. Stranger Things. Echo number. Just echoes your voice. Here and there along the echo. Cryptic phone tree introduces you to a strange world. Whimsical voice. Auditory journey. Let's try it. Out of service. Urban legend creepy numbers. Really? No. As the story goes, no. Urban legend. Urban legend. Dialing safely. Dial 67 to hide your caller ID. Ah, too bad. That's the end of the numbers, people. What a shame. If anyone else can come up with some creepy numbers, I will interrupt everything else to call them. Until then. The Dahlin Hotel calls itself the Fairy Tale Hotel, which is right here. Can we look at different pictures? There's from afar. Ooh, nice spread. Oh, yes, please. Oh, well, I like the doctor's handles better than the stuff you have to turn with your hands. Stuff you're forced to turn with your hands. Ah, the main dining room. More homey accommodations. Taco. Thank you, Taco. Creepy phone numbers to call that actually work. No longer in service. Green Tea says, when cell phones were new and you needed a bag or antenna to attach to your car, I got a package from the phone company. It was an 8x10 envelope over an inch thick. It was a phone bill. Someone had scammed my number. Since my phone was a permanent install in my car, and there was a phone call placed 500 miles away, 10 minutes after I made a call, they erased it. Wow. I gotta check my bill. I gotta write that down. Check phone bill. Local, national, I'm not concerned, but international, I'm curious as to how much that call to the Hotel Union Oi cost me. Anyway, Creep is out of the service. This one out of service. Still operational as of November of last year, so good chance here. Oh, that's a Stranger Things number. We just called it. No longer in service. Oh, here we go. Legends surrounding the so-called doppelganger numbers. Phone numbers which, when dialed, allow you to converse with your own doppelganger, are popular in Japan. There, it's said that calling one, such as this one or this one, might result in anything from an unsettling experience to a potential death curse. But although these kinds of numbers are well known in Japan, they're not limited to Japan. You see, this number is a doppelganger number you can call within the U.S. We should do this for every show. This should be this should be my new format. Hello?
Hello?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Why are you repeating everything I say?
Hey.
Oh, you only repeat short stuff. Short stuff.
Short stuff.
Doppelganger number indeed. Doppelganger number indeed. I was hoping for not my own voice repeated back to me. No longer in service. No longer in service. No longer in service. Likely no longer in service. The biggest mystery of the bunch. Scary phone number, but check before you dial. It's very similar to an actual person's phone number, so be kind. It's widely known as the binary number, due to the fact that its main feature was a panicked-sounding person spouting a bunch of ones and zeros, which converted to the word unalived in English. It was a North Carolina number, for the curious. My phone identifies it as being based out of Marion in McDowell County, 85 miles west and slightly north of Charlotte. But it was also a voice number set up through Google Voice, so who knows where its owner actually lived. Let's take a chance. Taco says, hello, Bill's Crank Call Service. You call and we crank up the bill. Speaker. Another dead air. Dead air, and then I hang up. Let's continue. Still operational as of a year and a half ago. Oh, that's the crown. The crown. That's the clown that was still operational. Discontinued in November of last year. No longer in service. Still operational. Remember Booth World Industries. This is the number paired with the 2013 No Sleep story on Reddit by Christopher Bloodworth. They kicked off that whole universe. It still works now. If you call it, you will hear a pleasant voice telling you, you have reached Booth World Industries. Let's check it out.
You have reached Booth World Industries. Your number has been logged and traced. A service representative will be with you shortly for remodeling. We at Booth World Industries say thanks. You have a marvelous day.
Have a marvelous day. You may or may not actually receive a call back. Oh, you can leave your number. Some have, in fact. Bloodworth noted in a 2014 interview with Bubble Beam magazine. Sometimes I call back. The reactions are usually fun. Even if you don't, though, there's still some fun to be gotten out of leaving a message for Booth World. No longer in service. Another Google subscriber. Likely no longer in service. Thank you, Taco, so much. Green Tea says, since my phone was a permanent install in my car, there was no way I could call from my town, and from another town 500 miles away, 10 minutes later. That proved it wasn't me. Taco remembers Booth World. Gotchaman says, warning, the Vault-Tec number from Fallout 4 is now a phone sex number. Before, it gave a funny Vault-Tec sales pitch. I'm tempted. I am tempted. So anyone brave enough to provide any more phone numbers, I will stop everything else to call them. Thank you, Taco. And Gotchaman. One Sean Bond, sorry about the delay in picking up Grizza. I thought that the guy was a troll. I thought he was a troll. So sorry you had to go through that. Thank you for your judicial moderation. Verpeen with a tip. Thank you, Verpeen. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you so much. Oh, it's one in Vault-Tec. Well, looks like we're calling it. How bad can it be? Since we have letters to numbers, this might take me a little longer to dial. One, 888 V A U L T T E C.
Welcome to America's hottest talk line. Guys, hot ladies are waiting to talk to you. Press 1 now. Ladies, to talk to interesting and exciting guys free. Press 2 to connect free now. Guys, press 1 now. Ladies, press 2 now.
Not that spicy. I was hoping for something a little spicier, but what are you going to do? Thank you, Gotchaman. Ooh, nice classic numbers on the doors there at the Dahlin Hotel. Oh, no, it's Taco. Congratulations on your watch streak. Thank you, ma'am, for everything you do. That we saw. No, we didn't see that. Ooh. Okay, back to the website proper. This is where it's located. Kind of near the coast. Or next to a lock. Rated 8.8 out of 10. With 187 reviews. Is that a lock? What is that? Loch Bandak? Loch Bandak? Look at that way. Or is it a fjord? This Norway? Or some other place? Where's this? Somewhere in England, it claims. Oh no, it's an English woman that haunts it. Telemark's Dahlin Hotel. So where is this place? We're going to have to go way out to find. Tons of Finger Lakes around there. Bergen? Where's Bergen? It is in Norway, so fjord, I guess it would be, right? What they call their finger lakes over there. Right next to a finger lake, a fjord. I guess it's the biggest one here. Yeah. It's like, maybe you can see the fjord from there. I wouldn't be surprised. That would be amazing. Add dates to see prices. I'm scared of that. Oh no, it's Taco reminds us that loch is lake in a Scotch dialect. Kangakong has heard of Booth Industries. It's a whole intricate story. Yeah, it sounds interesting, doesn't it? The architecture was inspired by stave churches and Viking aesthetics, giving a unique twist to a traditional wooden building. If you stay there, you'll be walking the same hallways as Norwegian and foreign monarchy, as well as the hotel's most long-standing guest. The story goes that at the end of the 19th century, an Englishwoman named Miss Greenfield stayed in room 17, where she gave birth. However, no one knew about this staff. However, no one knew about this until the staff managed to force the door open and found it empty, except for an unalived baby. Although the story doesn't kill whether it was unalived or unalived of natural causes. Miss Greenfield was arrested in England, but she unalived herself before she could stand trial. Read more about This is Telemark. Since then, the baby has been heard crying in room 17. And Miss Greenfield's presence has been noticed so much that the hotel always sets a place for her at the table. She seems to be content as a silent observer. I think I would probably go over there and sample her food. I'm not sure to get a visit. But mostly because I'm a pig. But if you stay in room 17, it's probably best to leave any children at home. Number 5, the abandoned asylum of Buskerud. The old Lear Psychiatric Hospital opened in 1926. Between the 1930s and 1960s, the hospital started experimental treatments, which including subjecting patients to lobotomies. Thank you, Nose Pickin'. Much appreciated, sir. Incidentally, the hospital has one of the highest rates of this procedure in Norway. Oh, this is everything in Norway. That's right. Creepy places in Norway. Lysergic acid and medically induced comas for days at a time. Due to the disproportionate ratio of patients to nurses, there are lots of reports of violence. In an interview with NRK, an ex-nurse at Lear said, "I nearly start crying whenever I think about what we did at Lear." Unsurprisingly, there was a lot of unaliving within those hospitals' walls. Those hospital walls. As any place with a dark history of human suffering, the mental hospital has gained a certain rep for being haunted by the poor souls who are trapped inside. However, a lot of the old buildings have now been demolished to make way for new, and the remaining buildings are also scheduled to be renovated as apartments. So while there's not much to see right now, thanks, One Sean Bond, you may be able to stay on site in the future in housing built on the spot. Please note the site is closed off to the public, the part that's not the new housing. We absolutely don't condone breaking and entering, and we will not pay for your lawyer if you do so. Number 6, the ringing telephone of Barham's Ferk. Barham's Ferk. Sounds almost naughty. Even though it's home to around 8,000, Baramsferk village is also an attraction in itself, and a testament to the old ironworks that were in operation between 1610 and 1874. That's more than 150 years, folks. More than 250 years, folks. More than a quarter of a millennia. Many of the buildings are original structures that have been renovated and repurposed, such as Fairchusset, the old administration building, which was built in 1640 and is now a restaurant. Ooh, I'd like to see that restaurant. And we will. But the building has a lot more to offer than just excellent food and pleasant surroundings. In the 1700s, the building was owned by Anna Krefting, who has occasionally still been seen on the second floor. But the majority of the strange occurrences. Taco, thank you for the contribution, much appreciated. Are attributed to Conrad Clausen, who operated the ironworks for 11 years until his premature death in 1785 at the age of 31, and whose old bedroom is now the lunchroom. Green Tea asks, what do you do with a Kazirev mirror? You attempt to travel in time. The strangest of all these occurrences is the telephone in the meeting room, which always rings at exactly the same time. Those brave enough to answer have only heard a strange static noise from the receiver. Now that's a high point of my visit. So if you eat at the restaurant, remember to be pleasant to everyone you see. You don't want your phone to start ringing in the middle of the night. They say the time, but they don't say at what time. Come back soon, Taco. But we must know about that restaurant. I must see that restaurant. Baramsferk village is an attraction itself. Fairchusset. That's the one. Fairchusset. Okay. Fairchusset restaurant we want. Restaurant. Thank you, Dragon. There it is, Fairchusset Baramsferk. Where is the official website of the restaurant? Where's Fairchusset.com? We should try it. Maybe TripAdvisor has a link to the restaurant. Where is... Ooh, $4 in expensiveness. I'm more like a $1 kind of guy. 1.5. Come on, where is the website? There's website. Open a new tab, please. Okay, welcome to Fuse Tea Pesca. Welcome to Fuse Tea Pesca. First time chatter. We're looking at a haunted restaurant and/or strip mall located in Norway. Is there any translation to English? Nicht. Oh, it says Norsk. English, yes there is. Thank you. Stedet från smackfull upplevelse. Stay for a significant Experience, I'm guessing. What's it supposed to be in English? Order table. I want to see pictures. How do I say pictures? What's it in German? Bilder in German. Bestellbord, Stargruppe, menu. Many has to be menu, right? Bestellbord, is that pictures? Evidently no. Oh, number of guests. That's booking. What is Stargruppe? Contact us. English, please. Just goes back to the same thing. Contact us. There's where they're located. There's their phone number. They're not going to be open at 4 a.m. Kind builders, asks Philip Blair. 9 kind builders. That sucks, right? No pictures. But maybe at TripAdvisor they would have some. It just says menu, booking, and that other one, whatever that was. What is that other one? Here's some pictures. But you can't click on them. What about from TripAdvisor? Show us those snaps. See all, 100 of them. 121 of them. Renee says, first time here. I really enjoy your show. Speaking of restaurants, what's your favorite food? Renee, have you subscribed yet? Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Please subscribe, Renee. Fuse T. Pesca says, I can translate for you. Fuse T. Pesca into what language? What language can you translate? Here we go. I don't want to, well, dishes might be interesting, but ooh. Oh, this all looks very good. Look at all that. The closest I came to a restaurant, a nice restaurant meal in Germany was once. I went once to a Henschen house when I was on, you might call it military patrol. I wasn't a cop, but somehow I was on patrol. I don't forget how. And I bought, they gave me someone to help me, someone of lesser rank, and I bought him a chicken at the Henschen house. Oh no, I went to another place for a French onion soup too. It's kind of hot. I wasn't too impressed with the French onion soup there. But the Henschen house, which is translated as a chicken house, not like the chains over here. It's a family establishment, a family restaurant. And it was really good. I never went to anything high-end, as you might have guessed, when I was in the service. Between 79 and 82, I spent the entire 3 years after my training in Deutschland. West Deutschland. The East was still behind the wall at that time, behind the wall and barbed wire. And I actually, once when we went, we took a field trip. You don't call it a field trip, really. What do you call it? Exercise. When we had a field exercise in Berlin, I went to see the wall. They allowed me a precious 30 minutes of my own time in Berlin. So I went to the nearest pub that was right across from the wall. I ordered 2 beers, the kind with those ceramic and rubber pop-off tops. And I went out on the front patio and sat down and drank and looked at the wall. Do they have any restaurant pictures? They do. Looks kind of cramped, man. That's a little bit cramped, man. Well, it's old world, right? There's their cramped, what would you call it? Banquet room. Book your parties here. Of course, sometimes you do have to ski to your car. Outside, the storage barns. The kitchen. No, it's an eating area of the area that used to be the kitchen. Isn't that nice? Oh, and the furs on the back. Maybe it's the chef's dining room. Green Tea wants to know what's the most expensive restaurant in the world. Let's find out. Gotchaman says, we have an outside park near the waterfront, the Peace Pavilion. It's got pieces of the wall in it. Okay, we're going to find out about from Green Tea. Right here. What's the most expensive restaurant? Green Tea wants to know. In the world. I need something to drink. I haven't had a sip yet. Sublimotion in Ibiza, Spain. $2,400 American per head. But it offers a unique voyage through food, time, and space. Where's the link? Not even a link. Let's find where it is. Let's find that website. There it is. Sublimotion Ibiza. Animated opening. Click on the O, I guess. Oh, man. Could you imagine sitting in those uncomfortable chairs? They're on wheels. Please, no. No, please. Oh, my back. Just looking at it. No, thank you. However, the gastronomy performance. Oh, Spanish and English. English, please. The gastronomic performance.
This is a table that reaches up to the stars. Feed your soul through all your senses. Lose yourself in a realm where reality blends with fantasy into a journey across the metaverse. 10 years of Sublimotion Ibiza. The future of dining is here.
Concept. The first gastronomic performance created to increase the pleasure of your eating out. Really? A new performing art, which aims to join gourmet cuisine with technology and staging. Wait a minute. It's not a new art to perform while you're preparing food. That's not a new art. It may be the highest level of the art. It's not a new art or unique art. Capable to turn the table into a stage and the diner into a star. dinner and a shoe. Yes, please. Here's my $2,400. Please give me dinner and a shoe and popcorn. Cutting the shoe leather. Dinner in a boot. A united team of 10 Michelin star chefs. Working with the most brilliant designers, engineers, stage directors, composers, and illusionists. Trip in time and space, which can only be explained by experiencing it firsthand.
Nos
The chef.
sentamos a comer unas 75.000 veces en nuestra vida y nunca nos aburrimos. Eso es mágico. Para mí la dieta mediterránea no es solamente
The team. There's the chef with purple cauliflower in his hand. His name is Paco Rancero, founder of the concept Sublimotion, which was launched from his workshop located in the Madrid casino. His 2 Michelin stars and 3 Soleil Repos showed that his career path is marked by his passion for technology, Vanguardian gastronomy, and constant innovation. Ooh, you get to see who these people are. Is that him again? Founder, creative director. No, this is Eduardo Gonzalez. Co-founder, I guess. Illusionist, Jorge Blas. Chef, Elena Arzak. Pastry chef, Janice Wong. Chef, Dani Garcia. Artiste, Antonio Maresti. Marizzi. Antonio Marizzi. Chef. It looks like... Oh. Diego Guerrero. Musical director, Lucas Vidal. Fashion designer, Roberto Lutz. Chef, Ana Rose. Chef, Toro Perez. Illustrator, Bakia. Chef, Pia Leon. Pastry chef. My eyes. I need a magnifying glass. Paco Torreblanca. And last but not least, DJ Wale Lopez. Founders. An advertisement for Land Rover. Thank you. It's supposed to be brands and founders. Brands for what? Do they take people out in cars at some point? Hard Rock Cafe. Perrier Jouet. Net Jets. One of their sponsors, I guess. Brands, it says. Vega Communication and Special Events. Paco Rancero. Palladium. A Spanish hotel chain. And a high-end one, I assume. Contact. Aha! I'd like to make a reservation, please. Oh, my phone bill's going to be insane. We're going to book a table. Nah. Why not? There might be a recorded message, right? You would think. For the most expensive restaurant in the world. There will be a recorded message, right? Let's give it a shot. 011.
Bienvenidos a Sublimotion, el primer performance gastronómico. Nuestro horario de atención telefónica es de 9 de la mañana a 8 de la tarde. También pueden contactarnos a través de nuestro WhatsApp en este mismo número o nuestro correo electrónico booking@sublimotionibiza.com. Welcome to Sublimotion, the first gastronomic performance. Our telephone service hours are from 9 in the morning to 8 in the afternoon. You can also contact us through our WhatsApp number in this number or our email, booking@sublimotion.com. Thank you.
A minute 22, just for my purposes of checking my phone bill. 1 minute, 22 seconds. What a foolish waste of money. Actually, it's entertaining, so. European says, I would like to book a table. That'll be a $500 deposit. Yeah, dine and dash. Let's dine and dash at Sublimotion Ibiza. You gotta be dressed really well. Dine and dash. Oh, boy. I wonder if they check credit cards. Take a credit card with one of those credit cards they make. This is amazing. These waves are just continuous motion here. It's an amazing website for this restaurant. Gotchaman says, we can book you a table. Earliest time is in 2073. Green Tea says, I've done 1 5-star. It was Italian. The food was good, but not unforgettable. But the service was excellent. Gotchaman says, I've never done fine dining. Not even been to a teppanyaki grill. I did a Ren Fair dinner once. I lost it. Trying to find it again. It's orange. Where is it? There we go. You sit around for 2 hours and get something the size of an appetizer every 20 minutes. Ren Fair dinner, huh? I don't know what that is. I thought you meant Renaissance Fair dinner. Huge turkey legs. What is a Ren Fair dinner? What is a Renfair dinner. It is a Renaissance thing. A themed meal typically served at Renaissance fairs or festivals, inspired by cuisine of 16th century Europe. We're talking the 1500s here, people. The menu often features hearty, comforting dishes reminiscent of the era, with emphasis on locally sourced ingredients, traditional cooking methods, and medieval flair. It's meat-centric. Vegetarians beware. Period-inspired dishes, like roasted root vegetables, sautéed greens, and bread-based accompaniments, trencher bread, crusty loaves. Herbs and spices like fresh thyme, rosemary, and sage. I should start growing fresh herbs. Ale, beer, and mead are the popular choices to pair with a Renfair dinner. An atmosphere is often enhanced by medieval-themed settings, such as torches. Some typical dinner options: roasted meats, turkey leg, beef, pork. Period-inspired desserts, such as fruit tarts, marzipan, or sweetbreads. If I'm not mistaken, sweetbreads is not what you may think. How many of you know what sweetbreads are? Woody Allen has a good joke about sweetbreads. Sweetbread is a culinary name for the throat, gullet, or neck, or pancreas, typically from calf. Oh, I thought it meant like other things. Okay, I stand corrected. I thought it meant more risque things. Brains or nether regions. Green tea, right. Testicles. Organ meats, confirms Verpine. Is there any other things besides that? Look how large that sweetbread. Look how large that type is on Wikipedia. Heart sweetbreads are more spherical, while throat sweetbreads are more cylindrical. Like other edible non-muscle from animal carcasses. I'm sorry, edible non-muscle. Sweetbreads may be categorized as offal, O-F-F-A-L, fancy meat or variety meat. Various other glands used as food may also be sometimes called sweetbreads, including the parotid gland, the sublingual glands, tongue sweetbreads, as well as the ovary and testicles. Sweetbreads are part of a traditional French cuisine. In Henri Paul's Pelleprat's classic Modern French Culinary Art, published in 1966. He includes 6 different recipes for sweetbreads, including versions with cream sauce and presented in pastry. In Mastering the Art of French Cooking, the 1961 classic by Julia Child, her and co-authors include 6 recipes for sweetbreads, with variations of cream and mushroom sauces. Okay, it's time to talk about tomorrow's movie. I was thinking of The Host. Do any of you guys know The Host? And what do you guys think about it? It's pretty long. It's a tad over, it's like 2 hours and 6 minutes long. And it would be only the first movie, so I'd have to get like a short second movie. But how about The Host, people? Yay or nay on The Host? Please vote in chat. Green Tea asks, wasn't Julia Child an undercover agent? Ooh, good question. Oh, you guys are... Exactly, the Korean movie. Exactly, Verpine. So I think that is 1 thumbs up. She was part of the French underground, confirms Gotcha Man. Thank you, Gotcha Man. A thumbs up for Verpine. That's good enough for me. Tomorrow night, our first movie will be The Host. It's a Kanga Kong. It is a Korean horror movie that, and you might associate Korean horror movie with cultural things that are hard to understand. The Host is not like that. The Host is a nail-biting action-adventure horror movie that is absolutely captivating. And you dare not miss it. I know we'll see you there, Kanga. That's tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Until then, may God bless and protect you all.